All right, let's dive right in. We're going to spend the next few minutes unpacking a complete blueprint for mastering service management. And we're not just talking about a department here. We're talking about a core strategy that can build some serious, long-lasting market value for your company. So, let's get into it.
I want to kick things off with a pretty direct question, especially for you business leaders out there. What is the single most valuable part of your company? Is it your product? Maybe your proprietary tech? Your patents? Just think about that for a second.
Because for a lot of companies, the answer to that question is really starting to change. In today's market, the real durable value often isn't just in what you sell, but in how you serve. I mean, just look at giants like Adobe and Microsoft. They made a massive strategic pivot from selling you a product in a box to delivering ongoing services. And why did they do that? It's all about creating predictable revenue, skyrocketing customer satisfaction, and building a kind of loyalty that's almost impossible to break.
Now, to make this work, your service has to hit something called an optimal value proposition, or OVP. You can think of this as your North Star for every decision you make. It's this idea that you're creating superior value not just for your customers, but also for your partners and, of course, for your own bottom line. It's got to be a win-win-win. And that's really the ultimate goal of this entire framework.
You know, before you can build anything great, you have to understand the materials you're working with. So let's start at the very foundation. What makes a service so fundamentally different from a physical product? Well, at a glance, the differences are pretty stark, right? Products are tangible. You can touch them, you can hold them. When you buy one, the ownership actually transfers to you, and you can standardize them on an assembly line. Services, though, they're the complete opposite. They're intangible experiences. You're buying access, not ownership, and they are, by their very nature, highly variable.
Okay, so let's break down what this actually means for your business strategy. First up, ownership. Since you're not selling a thing, but an experience, your entire focus has to shift from product features to the customer's journey. It's a whole different mindset. Second, separability. A service is produced and consumed at the exact same time. You can't make it ahead of time and stick it in a warehouse. This means mastering things like scheduling and staffing isn't just an operational headache, it's absolutely strategic. And finally, variability. This is a big one. Because people are delivering the service, the quality can be all over the place. Let me tell you, cracking the code on how to deliver a consistent experience every single time is one of the most powerful competitive advantages you could ever build.
Okay, so now that we get the raw materials, let's move on to the actual blueprint. How do you design a service that doesn't just compete, but absolutely wins in the marketplace?
Your design really needs to zero in on these 6 functional attributes. Think of these as the main support beams of your entire service structure. Performance, yeah, that's about quality and speed. That's table stakes. But look at consistency. That's the absolute secret sauce for brands like FedEx and the Ritz-Carlton. You know exactly what you're going to get every single time. And then there's ease of use. Wow, that has become a killer strategy for companies like Rocket Mortgage, which turned a horribly complex process into something that feels simple and fast.
Now here is a really powerful tool you can build into your blueprint, the service guarantee. And listen, this is so much more than just a refund policy, it's a strategic weapon. When a company like Zappos or Costco offers no questions asked returns, they're doing 2 brilliant things at once. First, they're completely eliminating the customer's risk, which builds an incredible amount of trust. And second, they're forcing their own internal teams to maintain ridiculously high standards. A strong guarantee is a signal of ultimate confidence.
But look, a great blueprint is totally useless without an engine to bring it to life. And in the service business, your people are your engine. They are, without a doubt, the single most critical component in your entire service machine.
And this slide shows that engine in action. It's called the virtuous cycle, and it is a ridiculously powerful feedback loop. It all starts when you genuinely invest in your people. That means hiring the right ones, training them well, and keeping them motivated. That leads to competent, satisfied employees. And what do? They deliver superior service, which creates incredibly loyal customers. And guess what those loyal customers do? They drive higher profits, which, you guessed it, allows you to reinvest even more into your team, spinning that flywheel faster and faster. This literally means your HR department isn't a cost center, it's a profit driver.
You know, Richard Branson really hit the nail on the head with this one. It's not just some nice, feel-good idea, it is a fundamental, rock-solid business model. The entire chain of value creation starts with how you treat your team. So, you've got your blueprint, you've got your engine fired up, but how do you know if it's actually running smoothly?
Well, the final piece of our framework is a diagnostic tool that every leader needs to find and fix the inevitable breakdowns in service delivery.
It's called the service gap model. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like an X-ray for your service operations. It helps you pinpoint the specific places where a gap has opened up between the service you think you're delivering and what your customer is actually experiencing.
So as you can see, there are 5 critical areas where things can fall apart. Let's just trace the path. It all starts with gap 1, the market insight gap. That's where you just misunderstand what customers really want. That mistake leads directly to gap 2, the service design gap, where you fail to build the right processes. From there, you can get gap 3, the service delivery gap. Your team isn't executing the plan. Then comes gap 4, the communication gap, where your marketing promises things your service can't deliver. And all of these failures, they all culminate in the one that really matters, gap 5, the expectation gap, where the customer walks away feeling let down.
This model gives you a systematic checklist to audit your entire service process. So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. Looking at this list right now, which one of these 5 gaps is quietly costing your business the most? Which one is secretly siphoning away profit and customer trust? Finding that answer, that's the first step to building truly exceptional and valuable service.